Hey everybody, welcome back to In Bed with the Millennial. I'm the Millennial Javeda Bay, and this is my bed, and it's time for part 2 of our conversation about compulsory heterosexuality. If you have not watched last week's video, go watch that, and then come back and rewatch this one. But yeah, we're just gonna dive right on in. So as a refresher, last week we talked about compulsory sexuality, and it's this like idea that everybody and their mama is supposed to love sex, and if they don't, something's wrong with them. Not true. And so today I really want to talk about how we cannot further perpetuate compulsory sexuality, and really like shift our sex positivity to being the type of sex positivity that I described last week. So what can we do? How do we not perpetuate compulsive heterosexuality, Jave? First things first, I want you to think, when you like strike up a conversation with somebody, what do you ask them about? What do you bring up when you're chatting somebody up? Are you asking them about like, you know, their interests and likes, like hobbies and stuff? Or do you kind of go towards more sexuality related things like, oh, are you seeing anyone? How's your sex life been lately? Things of that nature. If you're asking those kinds of questions, that's aligned with compulsory sexuality. The assumption that people are engaging in sexual beings. So let's switch that. Also, like, let's just get to know people outside of what they offer sexually. Like, let's just like actually learn people's hobbies. Like, let's see what people are really thinking about, caring about. So start there. Start with how you engage in conversations with folks and what y'all are talking about. And I especially want this to be applied to children. I think that's a big aspect of compulsory sexuality that I don't know if we're really like noticing. But we're starting it young, because how many of us, when we are talking to like younger children and like younger cousins and stuff, our first questions are always like, oh, do you have a little boyfriend? Do you have a little girlfriend? Compulsory sexuality. They are children. They are children. Ask them if they've watched the latest episode of Bluey or something. I don't know. But yeah, we should definitely be trying to not perpetuate it and ingrain it in the younger generations. That's how we're really gonna change stuff, because you know how hard it is to change older folks out of their ways. So let's not perpetuate it with younger folk, and ask them sexual rooted questions and probing into their lives in ways like that. This all like also aligns with like the whole adultification of Black girls that I've talked about last month. Like, did you see how all these things are intertwined? Yeah. So being mindful of the ways that all these things intersect, so that way you don't perpetuate one thing thinking that it's not related to compulsory sexuality, but it is. So that's one way, paying attention to like what kind of questions we're asking folks and we're getting to know them. Also, just like a general like self-awareness, just like paying attention, like, oh, am I doing things because one, I want to, or two, because I feel like I'm supposed to want to. That's the thing about so many aspects of our society and our lives. A lot of it has been ingrained in us through family, like institutions that we're a part of, like schools, church, things of that nature, media. But how often do we actually take stock and like look like, yo, do I actually enjoy this, or am I just like under the assumption that I enjoy this because I've been told for all of my life that I'm supposed to enjoy this, you know? So definitely that self-awareness is extremely important in not further perpetuating compulsory sexuality. Being like, yo, do I really need to be in a relationship? Do I want to be in a relationship? Or do I feel that I have to be in a relationship because it's expected, because I'm at that point in my life where I'm supposed to be settling down? You can settle down by yourself. How about that? Wild idea. But yeah, so like actually be self-aware on how you are interacting and moving through life and what feels good for you. And is it attached to sexuality because you want it to be, or is it attached to sexuality because we're told it's supposed to be? I'm gonna give you a hint. A lot of it's with the latter. I promise you. And another way to combat or not perpetuate compulsory sexuality is by actively being an ally to the LGBTQIA plus. And by this, I mean, like, you need to actively recognize, support, fight for, and stand with for everyone within the alphabet soup. Especially asexual folk, but like everybody, because in specific ways, like every part of the LGBTQIA plus community expresses and engages in sexuality in different ways. And they're all valid ways. They are all right for that individual, for that person. That's their life. And so you need to be that ally that supports it. You need to be out there being like, yo, just because somebody gay don't mean that they want to actually like go to dungeons and do things with you without knowing your name. Like, there's so many different ways that you can be gay or bisexual or a lesbian or just queer and pansexual. And it doesn't have to all just be like, oh, well, you're obviously pansexual, so that must mean that you would like to have sex with me and then, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to, okay? That idea attached to pansexuality and bisexuality of like, oh, well, you're pan or bi, so you obviously want to have sex with everybody. That is compulsory sexuality. You can be bisexual and pansexual and be celibate. Never have had your sexual debut. Be attracted to folks, but not actually act on that attraction. So be an ally. Be an ally, okay? Really be an ally for folks. And don't just think that you know it, you get it, you understand it's supposed to look this way. It's always going to look different because everybody is their own individual and engages in things differently. So let's check the assumptions. Be an ally and stop perpetuating compulsory sexuality. I think that's an easy recipe, you know? Sounds like making a batch of brownies to me. But yeah, it's probably seems like a little overwhelming. You might be like, Jave, I don't really know. You don't have to have it all figured out. I promise you, I don't have it all figured out. Like, learning about compulsory sexuality, I'm still trying to figure out, okay, how am I not perpetuating this as a sex educator? Which brings us back to that piece around like sex positivity, and what it truly means to be sex positive is under the definition that I use. And so in the sense of like having the knowledge and freedom to make your own choices around your sexuality and sex life and your own being and bodily autonomy without the expectations of society or the input of others and the government and things of that nature. I just want people to have the knowledge to be able to make their choices as they want to, not as anybody else defines that they have to. So work from that framework. Don't think that you have to have solved all the problems and answered all the questions around compulsory sexuality. Don't think of it that way. Think of it like, I'm focusing on a sex positivity that is aligned with what Gervais says sex positivity is. And that is just being able to make your own choices without interference, without undue influence, without any of the stuff that you don't want. Being able to just be like, you know what? Actually, I do want to take a month off from engaging in sex with others. Like, I just want to break. I just want to like let my body just like, I want to be in my body by myself. I don't want no other influence. I want to experience me all on my lonesome. Do it. Or you're like, you know what? I do want to go into my slut phase. I want to be in that hoe phase. I want to be out here banging 3 times a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks a month. Do it. Do what you want to do. But like, that's what we're working for. We're working from that framework of sex positivity. Letting people do what they do, not judging them for it, not giving them nasty looks. It ain't you. It ain't your life. It don't matter. Is it affecting you? No. So it does not matter. So work from that. Work from that and you'll be good. But yeah. That is compulsory sexuality. It's a doozy. It is a doozy. And again, I'm going to tell you again, if you haven't read it yet, definitely check out Sharonda Brown's book, Refusing Compulsory Sexuality. It is, again, in the description of this video. But yeah, that's that. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you are following me on all the social media platforms because there's so much good stuff. I'm really funny on TikTok, y'all. And definitely make sure you're subscribed to my email newsletter and that you are subscribed to my podcast, Queefs and Questions, because we've got queefs, we've got questions, and we're answering them all. But yeah, until next time, I'm gonna see you later. Deuces.